We have 4 Prince Johns on board. We are going to play the ultimate card, Hypnotize. It's going to make our opponent discard 1 card. And then Prince John's trigger, greediest of all, is going to trigger. We're going to trigger it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then we're also going to get a 5th draw from the resolve of Hypnotize. Prince John 1, Prince John 2, Prince John 3, Prince John 4, and Hypnotize draw. Look at all those cards. What's up? I'm Ben, and this is the best deck in Disney Lorcana right now because it's what won the DLC Vegas. We don't mess with that red-blue stuff. We mess with the green steel. We've been on green steel since Into the Inklands, and we ain't stopping now because we got a list that works right here. It's got the Shift Diablo, which Zan said was probably the best turn 1 to get the action cards out of your hand, so then Ursula Deceiver here doesn't pop the cards from your hand. This Anna has been a great hit because you can do whatever you want with her. She's kind of a toolbox. You don't want to play her on 3. You definitely want to play her on 5 when you can choose one of her abilities and pay the extra ink to use her. A couple smooth moves that I've done with this is I've damaged a character and then I've played my Anna. Like I've used my bird. I hit a Rapunzel to do 1 damage to the Rapunzel. Rapunzel has 5 willpower. And then I played down my Anna, and then it banished the Rapunzel. Now they're not going to be able to quest for 2 lore. And the Rapunzel's gone. It's a good deal. The Muses is here for some sick wombo combos with Ursula. Whenever you play a song, you may return chosen character with 2 strength or less to their player's hand. So how are you going to do that? We got plenty of songs right here. These 12 Ursula can sing, and this one you can play in the late game for your removal. This is our chosen late game removal. It's a little bit better than Zeus because it's not damage-based removal. It goes back to their hand and then they discard, and discarding is important in this deck build because we have Prince John and we're running the whole 4 of. When your opponent discards a card, you draw a card, and that pairs super well with Hypnotize. Hypnotize, you play down the Hypnotize card, and then your full action is going to resolve. So each opponent chooses and discards a card. And then you draw a card. And then, if you have Prince John on board, his ability is going to proc, where you get to draw a card for each card discarded from your opponent. Wow, 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 wow. I took this deck to locals, and I went 2-1, and my 1 loss was against the classic red Fossa deck. And I got smoked. I got 2-0'd by this deck. So I need practice against this, and that's what we're doing in this video here together. We are going to figure out how to beat this deck with our Emerald Steel. It's kind of hard when they get this Perdita down. This isn't Perdita. Where's Perdita? This isn't the build I want to go against. The Perdita build was a little bit cooler. And they had the Pluto. I don't know about this build. I think I'm going to change up this deck to match what I went up against at locals. I'm going to take out the ducks and take out Pongos. And I'm going to put in some Perdita. We're back, and we're putting in Pluto. I played against, I think they had all 4 1-drops of Pluto, and they had the Bodyguard Pluto. So what's this looking like? This is looking like a 61-card deck. What are we going to take out here? I don't think they ran the Piglets. I don't think they ran the Gastons. And this is the deck that we want to rock against. See what's good. We're going to menu save it. Classic red Fossa, yes. And then we're going to menu export it to Inktable. This deck will be player 2, and then player 1 will be us with Zan's deck from the DLC Vegas. And now we're going to play together. Things that we learned in this video. The most amount of cards that you can draw from Hypnotize is 5. You can get 4 triggers from Prince John, and then you get the 1 draw from Hypnotize at the end. So cool. We did it. Number 2, Red Fossa doesn't need the Be Prepared card. It is
they play the Scar. The Scar, that's a 7-drop that can ready every time that it banishes a character. Like, it clears boards. It's just as good as Be Prepared, kinda. It doesn't hit the evasives, but c'est la vie. Number 3, Mufasa is a scary lion. Rawr.
We're going to let player 2 start to see if we can try to win on the play. We really like our Diablo, and we really like having a Storm. So we are going to get rid of everything that is not Diablo and Storm. We really want to go for the Diablo shift, and this is 2 components of it, and there's the other component. We have our Diablo shift line cooking. Let's ink. We know we're going against Red Fossa, so this is the point where you can ink Ursula. We know it's Red Fossa. In fact, we were the one that imported the deck, so we're going to ink Ursula because she has no utility against an all-character deck. And then we are going to play the bird. Check out their hand. What you got, fellas? They got the Medusas, the Scars. They got lots of high-cost cards, which is good news for us. They kind of bricked at this point. And then we can shift our bird right now, or we can just chill out. And I think we're going to chill out because hopefully they don't have like a Brawl that they can play on too. Brawl costs 3. Zuga Booga. We get another Storm, and we are going to shift the bird. So we're going to play the bird, and then we have to select the bird. And then do we get rid of that? Not a chance. I think we're going to get rid of a Storm. And then our bird is actually going to sing Storm. Bop. Take out the Gothel, making sure that they can't draw with the Rapunzel next turn. And then we're kind of loving it. We do need to ink something up. We need to keep our ink up, not our funny up. We're going to ink our bird. And we're not going to hard play Sudden Chill here because we want to get a little bit more value out of it later. And in case we have to ink something, we're just going to keep it. Well, I press the play button anyway. We want to press the pass button. We don't have to play all the cards all the time. Diablo is exerted. Our opponent draws, so then we get to draw. That's what it do be like. For every instance that our opponent draws a card, we will also draw a card. They play the Pluto down. Sure wish that we had our other Strength of Raging Fire and got rid of our Sudden Chill, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. We're going to ink one of these Ursulas, and we are going to play down Ursula because I think top decking is probably this deck's worst thing that it does. We're going to quest our bird and then pass. So if our Ursula sings this, like if they ink something and play something, then they're down to 3. And then if we sing, get rid of it. And then if we hypnotize, we just got our Prince John draw. We are cooking. So we are in fact going to play our Prince John, and we are going to sing Sudden Chill 2 times. Boom, boom. We get to draw a card with Prince John, and then we get to play our song from the discard for free with Ursula's ability. They discard a card, and then we draw a card with John. Thanks, John. We're going to ink a card, keep our ink up, and not our funny up. We kind of love all of these. But we're getting up to 5 ink territory, so we are going to get rid of Morph because we can just play these later. Do we quest the bird? Not really. We want to challenge the bird into the Pluto. Say, Pluto, get out of here. And then we pass. They draw a card, so we draw a card with our Diablo, the Devoted Herald. They're up to 5 ink. We know that they have a Medusa. We know that something's going to happen. Maybe to our bird. Too bad we don't have a Hidden Cove. If we play this, we know that they have a Medusa. So that's a bad deal. But we can just make them discard 2 cards real quick with Sudden Chill. And then we know that they don't have a Medusa. So that's the utility of the Ursula. Get double discarded. We play it. They discard a card as the Medusa, the 1 card that we didn't want to play. We get to draw a card with our Prince John's ability. We get to play Sudden Chill again from the discard for free. It gets rid of the Scar. And then Prince John's ability goes off and we get to draw a card. As you can see, it's kind of all ogre for him. And we were going second. So what happened at locals? Why did I get cooked? We have 8 cards. They have 0 cards. And we still get to ink this turn. Is it going to be the Ursula? You already know it's going to be the Ursula because they don't have any songs in that deck. We're going to quest our bird. And then we're kind of free to quest our John. But they have a super goof in that deck. And they're also at Maui, so there's 2 things that could take this out. But it's just, we gotta win sometime, and we already have enough cards. When they draw a card, we draw a card. With Diablo, the Devoted Herald, there is Mufasa. How are we going to get rid of Mufasa? I don't know. But we're going to have to come up with some big brain plays, including singing Bruno on Beast to target the Mufasa. Goes to their hand and discards it, and then Prince John draws a card. Just nasty overall. We are going to play a morph down so it can shift into whatever we want next turn, and we are also going to play down a bird just so we get more bodies on board, which is a safe thing to do because there's no way that they can be prepared. They don't have to be prepared in this deck, but some red fossils are known to be silly billies. We can ink a card. Should it be hypnotized? Probably not. Probably the Pete, because we know that there's no action cards. But the Pete would save us from Be Prepared. It's probably a good idea. But we are going to play our Hidden Cove at this point. And then we get to move characters to Hidden Cove that we want to survive Super Goof and Maui. So we definitely know that we want Prince John to be able to survive Super Goof. So we put that there. And then we want Morph just to have a little bit more sturdy, if you know what I'm saying. We're going to quest the bird. Quest Ursula because her utility is insane, but we're just questing with her anyway. And then we're going to quest our Prince John, good old PJ. And then we're going to pass the turn. We've used all of our ink. We got 6 characters on board. They draw a card, and we get to draw a card with our Diablo, the Devoted Herald. They pass the turn, and they're cooked. What do we do? First, I think we're going to quest everything, right? Good old quest actions. Probably shouldn't have quested that morph. Probably should have shifted that morph, if you know what I'm saying. We're going to quest our bird. Quest our Ursula. Quest our Beast. We're going to quest one more bird. And then here's where our big brain decisions come in. We are going to play Hypnotize. It's going to discard one of their cards. We get to draw a card at the end of Hypnotize. And then Prince John's ability, we get to draw a card. Wow, wow, wow. Is it whenever? It is whenever. So this actually interrupts Hypnotize. Very cool. If we play the bird right now, shifting it, discarding an action card like Strength, should probably discard this one. Then we get to draw 2 when they draw 1, and that's a good move. And then we play a Pete just to guarantee our safety, and we can't move anything. We can if we ink something. We can ink this because we know that they ain't got songs, and then we can move our bird to the cove and pass the turn. And then it's pretty one-sided. That's how that game went. We get to draw 2 because 2 Devoted Heralds, and then we are just going to, we're going to shift. We are going to play our Tinkerbell onto the morph, and then we are going to quest that Tinkerbell. And we are going to quest that John for the win. And we're going to see what happened. Why did I lose so bad at locals? We're going again. Player 2 starting. They're on the play. We're on the draw. And this is what I did at locals. I kept a morph tink line. Probably a weird thing to do. I was really focused on getting morph tink. So maybe we'll see if that was my mistake. We get Hidden Cove, which is good news bears. We are going to ink our Pete, play our Kovski, and pass the turn. Cove gives us +1 strength and +1 willpower while here. We can ink a card, which is going to be the Ursula because we know they ain't got no songs. And then we can play our Morphski, and then we pass the turn. Morph can actually shift into this bird next turn. But is that something that we want to do? We're going to ink our Ursula, and then we just have 3, so we're just going to hard play our bird. We're not going to shift it. We're just going to hard play it because we want to be able to shift Tink on Thor It doesn't give us utility out of our cove to do this, but that's okay. We are going to not quest it because Super Goof is a 4-drop, and that could take out our morph, and then our plans would be ruined. Soiled it. There's the Super Goof. That's the big brain predictions. They do 2 damage to our hidden cove. But Tinkerbell has another thing coming for ya, Buster. We have to ink a card. It's got to be Sudden Chill, right? Not really. I think we might go for the Ursula here, just to make mistakes. We're going to play our Tinkerbell onto our morph. Waboom. Did a damage there, and then we are going to challenge the Super Goof with our big Tinkerbell. And we get to quest for one big one. They are in Maui territory, and Maui would one-shot our Tinkerbell, and she didn't move to Hidden Cove. If she was at Cove, then she could one-shot Maui too. Whoops. Maybe not the best thing for us, but it's the decision we made. Maybe this is why we lost, is because we prioritized the Tinkerbell instead of doing other stuff. When they draw a card, we draw a card with our Diablo. Devoted Herald. They're the Sisu. They had Sisu when we played them in real life. We have a thing, and if we double sang with Ursula, we would have been able to take it out. But we can't do that. We are going to play the bird, dude. Right? What if we start by singing this to do 2 damage to the Sisu? See what we get. It's another song, which is actually perfect. So we are going to just sing it, the ultimate top deck, to take out the Sisu. There it is. Sisu is long gone. We can ink Sudden Chill, because we gotta keep our ink up and not our funny up. We gotta get it to at least 5 ink, because Tink costs 6, and if we top deck a Tink, it's gonna be bad news. And I think what we want the most is to play another Diablo, especially because they are in Medusa territory. So we are going to play another Diablo, and then we are going to move our Tinkerbell to the Cove, just so it can't be one-shot by Maui. And then we have an extra ink to play with. So we are going to move our Exerted one to the Cove. Medusa can still get it either way, so that's fine. Draw a card, but Brawl can't get it. Diablo lets us draw a card when they draw a card. We have a Pete that we drew. There's Medusa, gets rid of our bird that's not at the Cove. Weird choices, but that's just what it do be like. We are going to play our PJ, and then we are going to hard play our Sudden Chill to make them discard a card, and then we'll be able to draw a card with John's ability. We get a Strength of the Raging Fire. If we have one more character on board, we can one-shot this thing, but we don't. So we're scared. We can still ink a card. Do we ink Pete? Probs. And then we will only be questing our bird this turn, because our Tinkerbell is making us nervous, and then we want to move our PJ over to the Hidden Cove and pass the turn. They could Maui and take out this Cove. We get to draw a card when they draw a card. We draw another Prince John, which isn't the best, and that's the Scar. That's why we don't quest the thing. Scar takes out our Hidden Cove. That's okay. They quest with the Madame Medusa. And we need to decide what is more dangerous. Probably Scar. So if I attack, and then I can ping 2, I think that's what we want to do, so we can be able to put Peace out. That's what we want to do. We want to challenge our Tink into the Medusa. We're going to ping 2 damage over there. That's the big brain plays. And then we want to be able to play a card. Play a card. It's the Beast. And then we want to sing Strength of the Raging Fire to do the rest of the damage onto the Scar. There he is. And then I think we're free to quest the John. Like, yeah, this card could definitely be the Rusher. Could be one of 3 rushers that they have in there. They have Scar, Goofy, and Maui. All could take out John, but we're willing to risk it to go up to 4 lore. Why did we do that? I'll never know. And then we pass the turn. We don't need to ink our morph. We don't need to go too far above 6 ink. They have the Perdita. When they play Perdita, they can get a 1-cost card back from their graveyard. But guess what, Buster? They ain't got none. If we put another Prince John on board and then make them discard a card by playing the action card Hypnotize, we'll be able to draw 3 cards, which is a great deal. We get Bruno, which is the perfect card. We are going to be able to sing that with Beast. Look at that foresight. Beast sings on Perdita, goes to their hand, and then in his discard, we get 2 Prince John triggers to draw 2 cards. And I think we're good. We don't need this Ursula because they're playing all characters, and we play our bird, and then we can go ahead and quest, and it is a one-sided game now. We have secured our engine. They surely won't be able to be prepared us, or they're actually in the exact right place to be prepared us. But I don't think they have it. And then we are going to quest our John, good old PJ, going for that quest for 2, and we're passing the turn. We get to draw a card. When they draw a card, that's how Diablo works. They play Stitch, and they don't get the value of the Stitch. Stitch says, when you play this character, if you have 2 or more other characters in play, you may draw 2 cards. They could have had value, but it's all gone. How are we going to take this out? We need to do 8 damage. So we have 5 damage here with this. 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we should play a character. If we play another Prince John, which is just crazy, then we have 6 damage on board, which is good news. Then we will be able to sing our Strength of the Raging Fire with a Prince John. We shouldn't have done that. We should have sang with this because it has less lore value. But that's okay because we have so many Prince Johns on board. And then we are going to sing for the rest of the damage with our bird to take out our enemy Stitch. We get to draw a card. We have a fantastic removal option there. And then we get to quest the rest. We got to win sometime, and now is that time. Quest the rest. We still have 4 ink to play with. Do we play our 4th copy of Prince John? I think the answer is a big yes. There's all 4 Prince Johns on board, and then we pass the turn. When they draw a card, we draw a card. This is the power of Prince John. We have not 1, but 4 Prince Johns on board, and we are going to play the ultimate card. Oh my gosh, we pressed pass. Oh, that was the worst thing that we could have done. We wanted to play Hypnotize so bad. All right, here we go again. Take 2. We have 4 Prince Johns on board. We are going to play the ultimate card, Hypnotize. It's going to make our opponent discard 1 card. And then Prince John's trigger, greediest of all, is going to trigger. We're going to trigger it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then we're also going to get a 5th draw from the resolve of Hypnotize. Prince John 1, Prince John 2, Prince John 3, Prince John 4, and Hypnotize draw. Look at all those cards. Incredible value. We are going to take out their Mufasa. We got to do it. Or do we have enough lore on board to win? 2, 4, 6, 8. We have enough lore on board to win. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to quest our PJs to win the game. Quest. Look at all these cards. And quest. And one more quest, in fact. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know how I lost to this in real life. Maybe the person was really good. Brett. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next video tomorrow.